Okay, hey, I appreciate everybody taking the time to say hello. We really love to hear that. We have just absolutely got a ton of people on tonight's call, and it, according to my computer, is 5 o'clock straight up, so I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing here. This is the third part in a 3-call series, and John's going to join us here in just a minute or two, and what we've talked about in the past, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Mike McMahon. Of course, this is One Coach, and I appreciate you joining us tonight. At the end of the call, we are going to do a Q&A session with John, so be sure to stay on the line. And, you want to ask yourself, as we wind down 2006, hopefully everybody on the call has achieved all of their personal and their business goals. And if you haven't, well, then you need to ask yourself, what happened? What's going on? And that's what this series has been about. We've talked about, the reticular activating system. We've talked about what brain, the role that your brain plays in your goals. We've discussed what your beliefs are and how they affect things. So there's just really been a powerful call, and we've actually made the first 2 calls available on our website. We'll talk about that at the end of the call, and we'll eventually be putting this one up as well. We've just had such an overwhelming response to the first and second call, people wanting access to them to hear them again, and, the information is just incredible. And so if you haven't heard the first 2 calls, you'll have an opportunity to be able to do that, as well as this call will go up on the website. And like I said, we're One Coach. Our mission is to help entrepreneurs and professionals grow their small business revenues so they can achieve financial freedom and live an extraordinary life. We are the #1 small business growth experts. Tonight we're going to hear from One Coach founder John Assaraf. John is going to continue in the series. He's going to share with us how our brain and the programming of our brain determines our success. He's a New York Times best-selling author. He's in the hit movie The Secret. He's been featured on ABC, NBC, CBS, Forbes. He was recently featured on the Larry King Live Show and the Ellen DeGeneres Show. John spent the last 25 years and over $500,000 studying the brain and its effect on our success, both personally and how they apply to business. It is my pleasure to have the founder of One Coach, John Assaraf, on tonight's call. John, are you there?
Mike, I most certainly am, and happy holidays, everybody. We at One Coach wish you the very best in health and peace and abundance in your lives on all fronts. So it's nice to be here, Mike.
Well, it's certainly great to have you.
Well, thanks. Are you going to want me to take it away now?
John, I can't imagine anybody that could do a better job of it.
Well, I'm going to do something unusual, everybody. I'm going to make this a little bit more interesting. And I've been really blessed that in the last 25 years, I've had some wonderful ups and some wonderful downs to learn from. And now at this stage of my career, with my business partner, Murray Smith, and our phenomenal team of about 20 individuals here at the One Coach headquarters, we really have a chance to impact the lives of people by really teaching them the best of what they need to learn about themselves and the best of what they need to learn about their business so they can really achieve the financial freedom they want so they can live extraordinary lives. And that's really our mission, is to help 1 million entrepreneurs around the world do that. I'm going to start by doing something that's a little unconventional, but sometimes that's what you need to do. I'm going to read you a very brief little story, and this is an actual true story that a friend of mine, Price Pritchett, wrote in his outstanding little book called U Squared. And from that, we're going to start talking a little bit about the brain. We'll talk a bit about the difference between goal setting and goal achieving. And as you know, all of you are going into 2007, hopefully, with goals in your hearts and for your business and for your families. We'll try and shed some light on how to make those goals a reality. And so just indulge me for just a moment and listen to this true story. It says, I am sitting in a quiet room at the Millcroft Inn, a peaceful little place hidden amongst the pine trees about an hour out of Toronto. It's just past noon, late July, and I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on just a few feet away. There's a small fly burning out the last of its short life's energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of the window pane. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder. But it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It is impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, This little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. The fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. Across the room, 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this small creature could reach the outside world it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of this self-imposed trap. The breakthrough possibility is there, and it would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach, something dramatically different? How did it get so locked in on the idea that this particular route and determined effort offer the most promise for success? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough by doing more of the same? No doubt this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea and a belief that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. That was written by my friend Price Pritchett, and as the opening of his book. I know in my life and in some of our clients' lives, trying harder was a strategy. For those of you who think that next year you're going to do better because you're going to try harder, I would like you to reconsider. I would like you to think that that may be a strategy that will kill. Maybe not next year, but over time. The stress that it will put on you is not conducive to your health. Your business is not your life, but your life should benefit from your business. And a couple things to think about is what drives great results in your business? What helps you make more money, attract more clients? Money is never a problem, and the lack of money is never a problem for sure. A lack of money or a lack of clients or a lack of results that you may be getting in your life is nothing but a symptom of something that occurred before the result. Money is never a problem. Lack of clients is never a problem. Ignorance is the problem. Now, ignorance only means not knowing. And so what I'm going to share with you tonight, we're going to talk about the difference between setting your goals for 2007 and achieving your goals for 2007. And I'm going to finish off a part of the brain discussion that we had that I think is imperative to everybody. If you think about this for a moment, if you think about all of us that are on this call, and I understand there's about 1,000 people who signed up for this call tonight, so thank you. If you think about us being on a yacht, on a big yacht or cruise ship together, and if you think about us moving in one direction and wanting to change directions of where we're going, every ship, every airplane, every guided missile has something in it called a cybernetic mechanism. And a cybernetic mechanism is nothing more than a control and response system that picks up a deviation from a set program. Your thermostat in your home, has a cybernetic mechanism. And once the thermostat is set, any deviation from what the temperature is will send a signal through the electrical system to the furnace to either kick up the heat or to turn on the air conditioning. Well, you and I and animals have a psycho-cybernetic mechanism that sends a signal and releases chemicals in the brain anytime there's a deviation from what we are used to, our comfort zone, otherwise known as homeostasis. We like our comfort zones, and we are creatures of comfort. Now, here's how this works. If you take somebody off the street who's never had any money and has a poor self-image, and you give that individual $100 or $1 million or $10 million, it is proven that 86% of people who win the lottery will lose it within 2 to 3 years. Over 90% of football players who leave the NFL will lose their wealth within 5 years. Not because they're not intelligent, not because of anything other than the fact that we have this thing called a psycho-cybernetic mechanism that will pick up any deviation from what our self-image or our conditioning or programs are at our subconscious level. And so just as your air conditioner or heater would kick up when there was a temperature change in the room, if you set your goals for more than what they are or more than what you have achieved this year or last year or the average of your last 3 years, anytime you start to do really well, your psycho-cybernetic mechanism will actually release chemicals in your brain, okay, release chemicals that cause doubt. It'll release chemicals that cause fear. It'll release chemicals that cause anxieties. And you will do what you're supposed to do, and that is sabotage your success. And you will do it by rationalizing why you don't have to keep doing what you're doing that gave you the success to begin with. If you took the word rationalize and you broke it into 2 words, you would end up with rational lies. You would start telling yourself, you know what, I can take a week off. I really don't need to contact these people. I'll call them tomorrow. I've had a really good month or a good week or a good quarter. I'm going to take some time off. And what you will find is that over the course of a year, you will pretty much balance out at what you are conditioned to achieve. Now, my question is why? If we know how the brain works and we know how to recalibrate what we call the mental financial capacity or the revenue financial capacity for a company, by helping the individuals recalibrate their brain just like you would recalibrate a thermostat by choosing the temperature that you want, why would we not do that? Now, let me share a story with you. When I wrote my book, The Street Kid's Guide to Having It All, I knew that I'd be on television a lot, and I knew I'd be on radio a lot, and I'd never done any television or radio. And one of the things that I did is I hired myself a coach, a media coach, that would help me understand what I'm getting myself into. Because any time that we put ourselves into a position that we're not used to or out of our comfort zone, your brain automatically will release chemicals, neurotransmitters, okay, that causes you to revert back to your old behavior and your old thinking. Not because you want to, because your brain is set up to protect you just in case there's danger in failing, danger in screwing up, danger in moving to another level of success that you haven't reached before. And so we will self-sabotage our success over and over and over again because of this cybernetic mechanism. So our job is to reset this psycho-cybernetic mechanism, and we can do it through affirmations, we can do it through visualizations, we can use it through technology by accessing the non-conscious part of the brain, which is one of the things we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks, as opposed to the conscious part of the brain. Now, here's something for you to think about. Your brain has got 6 intellectual conscious functions, 3 non-conscious functions. We talked about the reticular activation system last week. We talked about the psycho-cybernetic mechanism right now. And there's also these 2 little almond-shaped pieces of tissue just above the ears on the brain called the amygdala. And the amygdala on both sides of the brain is responsible to sense any potential stress in your life or any potential danger in your life. Anytime you're out of your comfort zone, like choosing a goal that is bigger than what you really believe you can achieve, these stress hormones or stress chemicals will be released in the brain, and you will start to doubt yourself. You will start to behave the same way you've always behaved. And so not resetting this part of your brain, the psycho-cybernetic mechanism, means only one thing. Number one is that you're pretty much going to achieve the same level of success year in or year out. If you think about insurance companies, real estate companies, or any companies that have huge sales teams that are responsible for sales, they have to book their hotels years in advance because they're such big groups. And so they also have to order their trophies for the winners usually, 6, 7, 8 months in advance. And most organizations that have been around for a while can tell you, Mary, she'll do this amount. John, he'll do that amount. Mike, he'll do that amount. Nancy, he'll do about this amount. The question is, how can they tell how much their people will sell? How can we tell how much you will sell? How can we tell how much revenue you'll help your company generate? We can tell pretty much because human behavior is predicated on what you are conditioned to think about and what you are conditioned to do every single day. And so if we were going to get into your brain and ask what drives your perceptions, what drives what you actually see, what drives what you actually do day in, day out. See, what we're not interested in doing is using willpower and persistence for us to rely on for long-term goal achievement. Why? Because willpower and persistence happens to be part of your conscious brain, and your conscious brain can only allow you to do about 2 to 4% of your actual results. That's all it does. And so conscious brain's neurons and the conscious brain's responsibility is for short-term bursts of energy, almost like a little sprint. That's what your conscious brain's used for. It's for choosing what you want. Most people talk about goal setting, and setting goals is absolutely critical. I want everybody on this call over the next 2 weeks to take out your pieces of paper. If you're one coach client, you know what I'm talking about, but if you're not, you've got to start focusing on what it is that you want. What do you want to earn in revenue? See, your conscious mind's responsible for choosing. It's not responsible for achieving, though. And that's one of the biggest challenges in most programs is they teach you how to set goals. They teach you how to plan. But guess what? Every one of you has got more books, more CDs, more plans, and more goals than you could shake a stick at. It's not a function of setting goals. It's a function of getting your whole brain, left brain and right brain, and the frontal lobe involved to really help you achieve goals. And you could only do that by reprogramming the subconscious mind. And what is it specifically that we are programming? What is this conditioning? What is this programming? Through the latest research on the brain, we know that a belief or a habit is nothing more than a cellular structure or a neural pattern or a neurode pattern, whatever you would like, that has been reinforced over time. Now, we have two different systems in the brain, the implicit learning system or implicit memory system and the explicit memory system. Now, what we want to do is we want to, through repetition and through a variety of different mediums, create the pattern in the brain at the non-conscious level that drives behavior and perception automatically. 96 to 98% of everything that you see every day, 96 to 98% of everything you do every day is habitual. It's basically the same stuff that you've always done. So if you're earning $30,000 or $20,000 or $200,000 or $2 million, that's what you are conditioned to do, not what your potential is, okay, not what you're capable of, but what you are conditioned to do. So here's what I'd like you to do. If you want to know what you are conditioned to do, take your business revenues for the last 3 years and divide them by 3. So if your business made $100,000 or $50 or $5 million consistently for the last 3 years, that is what you are conditioned to think about and what you are conditioned to behave like. Now, everybody on this call knows a lot more than you are actually doing or displaying. The reason that you're not doing the things you should be doing, that you know you should be doing, is because you're conditioned not to, not because you don't know it. Now, in some cases, you may not have the right strategies and tactics, and that's another story that we're going to cover on another call. But our job is to get the entire brain working together, getting the reticular activation system to focus on what it is that you do want, recalibrating the psycho-cybernetic mechanism, and then impressing that into the subconscious mind, the non-conscious mind, so that we create the new neural patterns that we want over time. Now, here's what I can share with you. NASA did some research many years ago with some astronauts, and they wanted to really understand how long it took for the brain to rewire itself to a new reality. And so they put these convex glasses on the astronauts, and what a convex glass does, just so you all know, is it inverts anything that you're looking at. So if you're looking at a bottle, it flips the bottle upside down. If you're looking at a car, it flips the car upside down. If you're looking at another human being, it flips the human being upside down. So convex glasses just reverses everything from right side up to upside down. Well, you can imagine, what that would do to your life, to your blood pressure, to your blood, to everything in your body would shift. And NASA wanted to test, the capacity of the human brain to rewire itself at a non-conscious level. And I wanted to test the stress factors on the astronauts to see how much they could really go through and withstand. Well, right around the 26th day of wearing these glasses full time for weeks, the first astronaut's world turned right side up again. And so what they deducted was that people's brains can rewire itself totally, if the convex glasses are on, in about 26 days at the earliest, just to begin with. And through more studies that have been done, and by the way, the last astronaut was somewhere around 38 to 40 days, if I recall correctly, that their world turned right side up again. And so their brain rewired everything to be right side up again. And so what did we learn through that study? Well, what we learned is that the brain is plastic. It can actually grow and rewire itself. And why is that important? Well, it's important because it makes no difference what your genetic predispositions are. It makes no difference what you've earned last year, what your revenues were, what your health was, what your financial situation was. It makes no difference. You can rewire your brain to a new reality. And that is one of the things that we have specialized in, is understanding how to do that. When you rewire the brain to the next level of your success and you apply the right strategies and tactics, that's when success becomes easy and clients flow to you in abundance and your life starts to work in abundance. And so for all of you that are setting goals this year, that's wonderful. I commend you and applaud you. But if you don't learn how to impress those goals and to how to calibrate the 2 or 3 different parts of the brain that are responsible for your long-term behaviors, you will have some minor short-term success, but then you will sabotage it. Not because you want to, because that's what you are conditioned to do. So you've got to create new beliefs that will match up with the new goals that you have. You've got to create new habits at the non-conscious mind for yourself to be able to do different things than you're doing right now. You see, if you were conditioned to earn 2 or 3 times more money than you are earning right now, you would already be earning it. And so if you want to stick your head in the sand and say, well, I've heard some of this before, maybe not this way, maybe this way, and not do anything about it, that's okay. But if this is the year that you break free from your financial situation and move to the next level, whatever that next level is, and you think you can do it without the training of the brain, without the right strategies and tactics, you are in essence doing what the fly did. You're going to do the same thing harder next year, and you're going to meet with limited success or the same success. Now, I can share with you, I've been studying the brain with some of the best neuroscientists in the world. I've been studying quantum physics with some of the best quantum physicists in the world. And then we've got plenty of knowledge on how to build companies. Between Murray and I, we've built 17 multi-million-dollar ones, from scratch to as much as $200 million in revenues in a year, from scratch to $5 billion in sales in one of my companies. And so the strategy and tactics are the easiest part of the equation. You already know more strategies and tactics than you're applying, so you don't need more strategies and tactics. Yes, you need to have the right information in the right order, and then you need to apply it. It's the application part that most people have a problem with, is they know what they should be doing, or they know a little bit more about what they should be doing, but they're not doing it. And the reason that we've combined the best in neuroscience or brain research with the best in strategy and tactics is without both, you're really giving yourself a limited opportunity for achieving success. And so goal setting happens in the conscious part of the brain. That's where you get to choose, and that's where your desires are. Goal achieving is really based upon what you think about and what you do every day. And we know that millionaires and multimillionaires, their brainwave patterns are very, very different than people who are not doing well. They've been measured in the laboratories. They've been measured with brain scan imaging. We know that they're different. What you're thinking about is different. What you're doing every day is different. Your belief systems are totally different. And again, beliefs are nothing more than a compilation of some of your genetics and what you've learned when you were very, very young and your experiences through your parents and your teachers. But if we look at it from a neuroscientist perspective, every time you have an experience, every time you listen to us at One Coach, or every time you read a book, you are actually creating a neural pattern in the brain. If you think about how much of the book that you read 60 days ago do you remember? Almost none of it. If somebody went through it with you, oh yeah, now I remember, but almost none of it is available to you right at your fingertips. Why? Because the part of the brain that reads the stuff is not the same part of the brain that you need access to cause the behaviors that you need in order to succeed. And so more of the same is not going to get you better results. And I can share with you, we've worked with a couple thousand businesses in the last 2 years, and we've got clients who've had increases, 10,000, 20,000. Just got an email today from one of our clients, Marola Tile. They've increased their revenues this year by over $3 million in their tile company by applying some of the brain stuff with their salespeople and the owners, and by having the right strategies and tactics. And so 2007, every one of you is going to have the opportunity to have your best year ever. Here's what I'd like you to do. If you do this for me and for yourself, on a sheet of paper, write down what your goal was for 2006 if you had one. So if it was either personal income or revenue. So let's say it's $100,000 or $200,000 or $250,000. Whatever it is, that's what your goal was. On the right side of that, write down what your actual revenues were or what your actual income was. Calculate what the difference was between goal and actual. So is the difference 10,000? Is the difference 30,000? Is the difference 50,000, 200,000, a million, or more? Whatever that difference is what you're costing yourself by not having the right belief systems. It's what you're costing yourself by not having the right habits. It's what you're costing yourself by not having the right strategies and tactics. And it's what you're costing yourself by not having the right support systems in place to make sure that you achieve those goals. And so you could listen to these calls all day long, every day, but without application of the right information in the right order, you will never achieve the goals and success that you want. If it was just about information, every single librarian in the world would be a billionaire. But it's not about information. If you want the combination to the lock, you've got to get the combination in the right order, then you've got to take action to open it up. And you can use your conscious efforts again next year. There's going to be millions upon millions of people who go on diets on January the 1st. And within 2 to 3 weeks, the same as last year, by January 13th, 14th, 15th, and 20th, they'll be off of the diet. They'll start to rationalize why they're off the diet. They'll break the pattern, not because they don't want to lose the weight, because they're not conditioned at the right part of the brain to achieve any strategy long term. If you set goals this year for next year, it's just a function of 2 or 3 weeks before you will revert back to your old ways of thinking and your old behavioral patterns. Not because you can't, not because you're not smart enough, because that is what the brain's responsibility is. There are 2 major functions of the brain. You've heard me talk about this before. And you're gonna hear so much about the brain the next year or 2 or 3. You're going to say, you know what? We heard that one coach company, that guy John Assaraf, talk about this for the last 3 years. We've been talking about this and helping clients. And when you add the brain stuff with the strategies, that is a recipe for success. But what happens is, if you do not focus on the 2 areas that really control your results, you're not going to achieve the goals that you are capable of achieving. And you know, for us, business is a way for us to live the lives that we want to live. If you carry out your business affairs like a hobby, your business will cost you like a hobby. And it's going to cost you in lost opportunity and lost revenues. If you want to retire, I'm going to suggest that you get serious. You make a commitment to yourself to doing whatever it takes to really get your brain wired properly to a new reality and to get your strategies and tactics in place so that you can meet unbounded success in 2007. Your business is got the potential to really deliver to you the life that you really want. And one of the things that's really important to us is something called the hundreds. And what are the hundreds? Every one of us has these events in our life that are absolutely, on a scale of 1 to 10, they're 100. They supersede anything that we've ever done. And we've got moments like that in our lives. Well, guess what? When you reach the financial success that you want to achieve in your business, you get to have many more hundreds. You get time with your family, with your kids, with your spouses, traveling, doing the things that you want to do. When I was given the opportunity 25 years ago to learn from my mentors, Walter and Frank and Bob, I jumped on it, and I invested $75,000 to become partners with these guys so they would teach me what I needed to learn about business. My partners' companies today, this year, did over 50 billion with a B in real estate sales. Fortunately, my partnership with them is another company that did $5 billion in sales. But I can tell you 25 years of retraining my brain and learning the right strategies and tactics has really given me the opportunity, and the clients that we work with, the opportunity to really create a masterpiece with their life, a life that really gives them a lot of hundreds instead of ones and twos and fives. Business can be your vehicle to really take your financial ability and create the life that you really want. That's the only purpose of business, is to express yourself and to be able to make enough money so that your business works for you, not so that you work 60, 80, 90, 100 hours a week. It's for you to be able to have a business that works for you as opposed to you working for your business. Most people have 2 or 3 jobs, and that's because they're not doing the right things. They're not doing the right things in the right order, and they are not conditioned. They don't have the right belief systems at a non-conscious level, and they don't have the right habits at a non-conscious level to really give themselves the best chance for success. And so, Mike, I'm going to give that back to you, and I'm going to suggest that every person on this call change their strategy for 2007 if you want more than you had or achieved in 2006. And I would love an opportunity to be able to guide you and to mentor all of you in our Business Mastery program that works on you and your business and provides you with the environment to really thrive in 2007 and make that your best year ever so that you can live the life you were meant to live. Mike, my 30 minutes of fame are up.
Hey, John, thanks a lot. As always, incredible information. Thank you. I know that was enlightening for our callers. For those of you on tonight's call, as I said at the beginning of the call, we're going to be having a Q&A session in just a moment. So if you have a question, press *0. The operator will come on. They'll put you in queue so you can ask your question. You know, one of the biggest reasons that I get excited about One Coach is the investment that we ask for. I mean, the value in the One Coach Business Mastery Program, it's literally life-changing. It is simply astounding. I have people tell me every day that we're crazy for not charging more for the Business Mastery Program. I mean, when we have people like Rhonda Luttrell, who's grown her enrollments for her business, she works with companies helping them understand how to market in the seniors market. And when she was able to grow her enrollments for her business from 30 in a month all the way to 138, and she's now able to take a vacation away from her business, not to mention the fact that she's drawing a salary because we told her to and showed her how to do that and increase her profits so she could. This stuff is life-changing. In fact, when you join One Coach, you're going to have the materials to not only take your business to where it needs to be, but to make sure you're where you need to be so that can happen. As 2006 comes to a close, think about why you originally got into business and how important it is for you to be in business. What's the end goal? How many of you on tonight's call got into business because you wanted to achieve financial freedom? Well, that's what One Coach shows you exactly how to do. You have to ask, what does financial freedom mean to you? Does it mean you actually get to live the lifestyle of your dreams? You get to live where you want to live. You get to put your children in the schools you want them to be in. You can go on dream vacations, or you're able to provide your family provide for your family abundantly. You can give to the charities of your choice. You get to help others. What does financial freedom mean to you? And what is it costing you not having it? You see, One Coach is all about achieving your highest and greatest potential personally, professionally, and in your business. Remember, there's a big difference between goal setting and goal achieving. You've got to have a system. Now, what I mean by a system, let's see here. How many of you, I mean all of you on the call, you've certainly been to a grocery store. What happens if you go and you buy some ground beef, you take it home, you wad it up into a ball, you smash it flat, throw it out on the grill, get that thing nice and tasty, put it on a bun. What are you going to call that when you're finished with it? So it's a hamburger. I know everybody on the call knows how to make hamburgers. So if everybody knows how to make a hamburger, how in the world can McDonald's get over $250,000 for a franchise? Because they have a system, and it's a system that works. So what most people don't understand, they say, I got this great idea for my business, or I'm going to work harder, I'm going to sell this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do more, and they don't understand why they don't make it. You got to have a system, a process, a method, a way to sell your product and service, a way to get out of your own way. Whatever it is, there is a process, and John and Murray have built 17 multi-million-dollar businesses, and one coach has helped over 1,500 business owners through this system. Rather than go through a big laundry list of all the things that we provide in the Business Mastery Program, you can check it out for yourself. Visit www.onecoach.com/122106. So that's www.onecoach.com/122106. I'm simply going to point out to you, rather than go through the big list, that by now, you need to do something different. The Business Mastery Program is that answer. John and Murray's commitment to helping entrepreneurs and professionals raise their small business revenues so they can achieve financial freedom and live an extraordinary life, along with the overall vision of One Coach to help 1 million entrepreneurs and professionals around the world achieve that dream, has driven us to price the Business Mastery Program at a point where anyone that's committed to growing their business simply can't afford not to do this. Your investment in the Business Mastery Program for an entire year is only $3,000. And while I told you I wouldn't give you a big laundry list of things that we provide, I will tell you that your membership in Business Mastery does include weekly 60 to 90-minute Ask the Expert calls hosted by John and Murray themselves. You'll actually have the opportunity, along with other Business Mastery members, each week to ask your specific questions. Just think what it means to have access to two guys that have built 17 multi-million-dollar businesses helping you grow yours. I mean, that alone is easily worth the entire investment in the One Coach Business Mastery Program. On top of that, our live event coming up in February, the beginning of February, it's 3 days. It's the Mind, Marketing, and Millions event, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It will change your life and your business. If that isn't good enough already, here at One Coach, we didn't want money to be an excuse for you to not joining the program. So we put together a simple payment plan that allows you to join One Coach for 12 payments of $300. So you have a choice. You can save $600, pay for the entire year up front, or you can use our easy payment plan. I mean, when it's all said and done with, by now, you know you need to do something different. You can join One Coach, take you and your business to the next level, or you can continue to do what you've been doing and getting the same results. By now, you know what the frustration is in continuing to do what you've been doing, and you're ready to do something different. We know this works. We've taken 1,500 entrepreneurs and professionals through the process, and the results are predictable and amazing. We're so confident in our Business Mastery Program, we stand behind it with a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Join the One Coach Business Mastery Program today, and we'll ship your foundation self-study materials out right away so you can begin establishing the right neural pathways for your success in 2007. You'll have access to all the business building strategies in our members-only area of the One Coach website. You can access John and Murray on the Ask the Experts call. Go to onecoach.com/122106 and enroll today. By joining the Business Mastery Program, you'll be sending a strong signal to your brain that building your business is important to you, and One Coach will show you how to do the rest. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So go to onecoach.com/122106 and enroll today. And if you have a question, hit *0. We'll open up the lines. We'll take some questions here. And, if you got a question about Business Mastery or tonight's call, we look forward to talking with you. So, operator, do we have some questions in queue?
And Mike,
yes, we do, sir.
Hold on just one second, Albert. The other thing I want to share with everybody is we're building a small business community for entrepreneurs, professionals, and small business owners. And everything that we do evolves around live events, online events, teleconference calls, hard materials. So we've created the best of the best. And the other thing that we're doing next year is we're having 2 international business conferences as well that's included in joining the Business Mastery Program. So it's not just the Mind Marketing in Millions event, but we also have 2 live events that people can attend to network and mastermind and learn what's hot, what's not, and that is something that is just going to blow people away. And so it's just all-encompassing. So we're your one-stop shop for you and your business.
That's a good point, John. So everybody remember, that's 3 live events. Any one of the events all by itself are well worth the investment in one coach.
Absolutely.
So with that said, ready for a question?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Operator?
Our first question comes from Armand. Go ahead, Armand.
Hey, Armand.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, John.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. My question I have is, I hope it's not crazy, but I wanted to know, everything you were saying was great. I was just listening to you earlier, and what I want to say is, when I started thinking about what you're saying, the thing is, I guess I focus on it so much that I started to have a headache. I mean, what's up with that? I mean,
well, give yourself a break. If you're focusing on it too much, give yourself a break.
Okay.
And a lot of times when we over-focus, it's almost like magnifying a glass.
Right.
All right? It's just the pressure is a little bit too much. Just give yourself a break. Do some breathing exercise. Go for a walk.
Okay.
That was easy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right.
Next question.
Our next question comes from Cheryl. Go ahead.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey,
Hi, Cheryl.
greetings.
Greetings.
Hi. Man, John, I just love listening to you talk. I saw you on Ellen, and I thought, my Lord, the day has arrived.
Oh, you're sweet. I just spoke to her today. We're going to start working with her company in January.
Awesome, awesome. I just really appreciate what you've been doing. I've been on this track for 25 years, so I feel like it's Old Home Week finally coming true.
Well, thank you so much.
Right on. So earlier in the call, you guys were talking about a place where you were going to post these calls you've been doing the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to kind of direct some other people to them. If you could let us know where to find them.
Absolutely, Mike.
Yeah, give me just a second, and I'll get you the URL while we're working on one more question. I will announce that to every caller.
Great.
Right.
Yeah, and just for all of you, if you like what you're hearing, our intention is to give you as much great stuff as we can. Our passion is really to help business owners, and our goal is to make a difference on the planet by teaching people how to build their businesses, again, so they can have extraordinary lives. I don't want anybody to live an ordinary life when I know extraordinary is possible. So please share this with your friends and let them know that, one of the things that hopefully at the end of every call, hopefully we earn the right to share with you about our Business Mastery Program. We hate hard selling and people that are just about selling only. We want everybody to sell and to learn how to sell, but I think there's a new era coming, and that is the day of the hard sell is closed. The day of giving people a lot of crap and then asking them for the order is over. And so if you like the content, and then let people know, because that's the part that we want to play.
So if you want to access the audios for the first 2 calls, you can go to www.onecoach.com/change-brain. And that's change brain, all one word. And then we'll have tonight's call up there shortly, probably Monday. Well, no, Monday's Christmas. I think we'll probably have it up Wednesday. Operator, do we have another question?
Yes, our next question comes from Vic. Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, hi, John.
Hey, Vic.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching you on The Secret,
Thank you.
and my question is this. I'm going to school right now, and I have a lot of bad habits that I want to break, and I wanted to ask you, like, what 2 things can I do to reprogram my brain? Because I already set some goals, but I want to be able to reprogram so that I can follow through every time on my...
So what 2 things can you do? 2 of the easiest ones, okay, and there's probably about 8 different things that we teach our clients. 2 of them are to create some new affirmations for yourself. And affirmations are nothing more than a declaration, a brand new declaration that you repeat to yourself over and over again. And so give me an idea of one of the habits you want to acquire.
Okay, I'm going to bed very late because I'm working on my website, so I want to go to bed at, let's say, at 10:30 every night.
Okay, well, why do you want to go to bed at 10:30 every night?
Yeah, because I lose track of time, and then I wake. I'm all tired in the morning because I haven't slept, and then because I'm working on my website, so it's getting insane right now. So
Okay.
I want to have more energy. I want to feel good.
Well, let's maybe take a different track with you. If you're lacking energy, okay, meditation will actually allow you to sleep less and actually have more energy.
Okay.
And so I go to sleep at midnight and I wake up at 5 o'clock and then I meditate for 30 to 40 minutes and I have more energy than the ever-ready bunny.
Oh, wow.
So if you need a lot of sleep, then you've got to do two things. Number one, you've got to create a system and a process for yourself to go to sleep on time. Okay, and so create some potential penalties for yourself for 30 days. If you go to sleep past 10:30, there's some penalties, so you create some pain with that. But you can create an affirmation that says, I love going to bed at 10:30. I do it religiously every night, or I do it consistently every night, and I wake up refreshed and feeling great every single day. And so you can start with a simple affirmation. When you're looking at breaking that type of habit, you want to create an affirmation. You want to create a system and a process that will help you accomplish that. All right, and so set up systems and things around you that won't let you just lose track of time. The good news about losing track of time is you're actually in the quantum field doing things that you love or that you're enjoying. And so the challenging time is that you're tired in the morning, and you can get over that tiredness through simple meditations, 15, 20 minutes a day, and you'll have more energy. You know what to do with.
So the affirmations, how many times a day should I say those affirmations?
Well, if we go back to what the affirmations are, they're nothing more than a pattern in the brain that we're looking to condition. So as many times as you can, and when you add emotion to it, you actually will be releasing protein at the synaptic gap and causing it to bind a lot faster. So affirmations, for example, just said, what, here's my affirmation today is I really feel happy and I'm making lots of money. You might as well go to sleep and forget about it. But when you add emotion to it, you're actually creating a better neural connection. So affirmations is one way to do it.
And the other way would be like a visualization, right?
Another way would be a visualization. Those are two of the simplest and easiest ways to really start to retrain the brain.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, John.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
We've got
Vic.
time for a couple more here.
Excellent. Operator, next question.
Our next question comes from Mark. Go ahead.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, hi, John. How you doing?
I'm doing great, but I'm going to get better.
Hey, I want to tell you, you are brilliant, and I'm saying that I've studied the brain myself, and I've done a lot of the things that you are doing right now over the last 15 to 20 years, and I'm very impressed with you, and I'm very impressed with your commitment that you make to helping others.
Thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate that. It's our joy.
Okay, I've got a question here regarding getting past financing hurdles in my business.
Yes.
And my business is I work in a private mining exploration company.
Okay. I got some friends of mine who do mining for oil and gold, and so I know the industry a little bit.
Oh, great. Since August, I've been focusing, and it was actually since August when I saw The Secret, I thought, well, this is pretty interesting stuff. I'll get in there and start hammering away at myself with it. Since August, I've been focusing on finding a private financer, and I've found some very good leads in that time, but they didn't go anywhere because it seems like most of the people out there that are angel financiers and things like that are more interested in biotech and internet startups.
Okay. Not true.
Now, what's that?
Not true.
Not true.
That's
okay.
a belief that you have.
Okay. There has to be. Well, here's my statement. There has to be someone out there or a group of people out there who are interested in privately funding the exploration that's going to discover a gold mine. My properties, the ideas and things like that I have are world class. I only focus in that direction. And my question is, what strategy, reprogramming the brain or otherwise, do I have to apply in my life to find the right people?
Well, first and foremost, you've got to start visualizing. You've got to start seeing yourself attracting those types of investors. That's number one.
Okay.
Second, if you recall, everything we talk about is about you and your business. And so if you're in the right vibration and you're really attracting the right people, if you don't have the right offer, the right message, if you don't understand the buying decision-making process of investors, you can have the greatest gold mine and oil field in the world. You won't attract a nickel to the wrongly strategized investment. So we have one of our clients from Australia asked us a very similar question where he raises money for certain deals, and the way he had the deal structured absolutely made no sense. And so we worked with him very, very briefly, and he was like, oh, my God, this is night and day difference. And so you've got to have the right strategy and tactics, and there's a couple of things that we work on. For those of you who have been listening to our calls for a while, you've got to understand specifically who is the ideal client profile. Okay, what's their buying decision-making process? Why should they look at, in your particular case, this investment versus other ones? Well, because it has to be unique and it has to offer low risk and high returns. All right, and then how are you generating leads, to potentially make the investment, and how are you converting those leads? Those 5 things alone that I just talked about are the first 5 things that we work on with every business owner. Why? Because 99% of you don't have them. And if you don't have them, why are you wondering whether you're going to be more successful or why you've got limited success? We've got a recipe that we're working with because we know it works. It's kind of like you don't want to be the first one to go to your dentist when he's trying or she's trying a new procedure, do you? No, you want them to do what they know how to do.
Right.
Well, guess what? What I would probably bet is there's a little tweaking that needs to go on, and that is really in your attitude and your belief, and that's okay. And then in your strategies and your tactics for really understanding how to position your product or service, in your particular case, investments, in a way that you'll find the ideal person, and this goes for every single person on this call, finding your ideal client by making yourself unique and differentiating yourself from everybody else who pretty much promises the same thing, and then creating a process and a system that makes it easy for them to buy and then refer people to you. That make sense?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of information, but I'm...
Well, I'm trying to... listen, you only gave me a minute. Imagine what we could do with you in a year.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous information. Okay, that's... one other question.
No, we got to go to somebody else.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Next question, please.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep, no problem.
Next question comes from Mary. Go ahead, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi. Thank you for the secret, and what a treat to meet you on the phone.
Well, nice to meet you, too. My treat.
I'm conditioned to be a nurse, and I would love to start my own business and have fun and make a ton of money and, do my own thing. My difficulty is I don't know what that is. So is your program have any, is it appropriate for people who haven't figured out what their business might be yet?
You know what? I hate to say this, but probably not.
Okay.
I think what you would need to do first is to really identify, number one, what are your unique abilities and what are your passions? That's number one.
Uh-huh.
Then what would you really, really like to trade your life for? And here's what, I suggest every single person think about, okay? And this is a classic, is don't ask yourself whether you are worthy of the goal or the vision or the mission that you're on. Don't ask yourself whether you're worthy of it. Ask yourself whether the goal is worthy of you.
Oh.
Okay? It's your life you're going to be trading it for, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to ask yourself, you're trading your life for it. Is it worth your life?
Yeah.
And
That's
then
what
when
I've been looking at lately.
Right. And
it
so
totally is.
Once
my
you
health,
decide,
well-being, and everything, my happiness.
Yeah, when you decide that you want to do X, means I want to be in, I want to provide this product or this service, then we're going to be the right company for you to come to. And we'll save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in mistakes, and we'll give you all the tools and resources, online, offline, live, telephony-based, webinar-based, course materials, masterminding, networking, everything you need to create the environment and the information you need, when you need it, how you need it, so you can build your business, and we look forward to it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks.
John, do we have time for one more?
You got it.
All right, one more question.
Our next question comes from Fran. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi, Fran.
Well, first of all, let me say I've really enjoyed the call tonight. I've learned a lot.
Great.
I guess my question is, since I'm basically, I don't know that much about what I don't know, this should really, really help me because I feel like I would be like a blank slate.
Well,
so basically, it would just be following instructions, or
you got it.
I don't
paint by number.
And as long as I do that, then everything else will flow, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting. I'm going to read something to you. I said, this is from a student at the Marshall Goldsmith School of Business here in San Diego. It says, John, I have to say I was very skeptical in October. I was afraid to hope for the changes and have them not come. So I've been doing my daily affirmations and everything else you taught us at the event. In the week of Thanksgiving, which was just a few weeks back, I had an apartment drop in my lap with a monthly rent lower than going rate for the apartment in the OC area. I was offered a great job I didn't apply for and will be making, and she tells me how much she's going to be making starting immediately, and made another connection to do presentations at $1,000 a day. If you remember from the conference, I was stuck in how I was going to do the financial plan because as a student, and she quotes, I couldn't do more than an internship work. Well, that thinking in reality is different now. There's more, but I don't want to write you a novel. Maybe one day we can connect and talk about these amazing changes. This is from a student, okay, at the university who came to our event in October. Okay, so she didn't know how, and she's getting her PhD program at the Marshall Goldsmith School of Management. So yeah, if you're prepared to apply what we teach you, we have a predictable transformational model that'll help you not just in your business, but in your life. So, yeah, absolutely, Fran.
Oh, well, thank you.
You are so welcome. And with that said, Mike, I hope that everybody understands that, you know, we can provide you the process and the blueprint for you to follow, but you're going to have to make a commitment. And if you're interested, you're going to do what's convenient, and you're going to come up with all the excuses in the book. And if you're committed, you're going to do whatever it takes. And Napoleon Hill in his book, he says, the winners make decisions quickly and change them slowly. And so we've taken all the risk out for people. I hope that this is the year for you to create a masterpiece with your business and your life.
Absolutely.
Where do they go to enroll, Mike?
They simply go to onecoach.com/122106. And that's onecoach.com/122106. And you can enroll in the Business Mastery Program. If you do happen to have a question that we weren't able to get to or didn't answer this evening, you can email questions, that's questions with an S, at onecoach.com, and we'll give you a call tomorrow. So give us your name, your phone number, and the best time to get in touch with you, and we'll be happy to answer your questions and help you take advantage of enrolling right before the end of the year so you can write this off on your business taxes, you know, because this is a business investment. It's in your education, so obviously it's something you want to take a long look at and take advantage of. And, John, do you have any last words before we part for the evening? I'll open up the lines, let everybody say good night.
Great. Well, I'll be parting for the evening, and then I wish everybody just a prosperous, healthy, and phenomenal end of the year and a happy holiday season. I look forward to meeting you and sharing our lives together. So all the best to everybody. Happy holidays.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to open the lines, and again, that's onecoach.com/122106.
And Mike?
Yes.
If people enjoyed the call, press your star button when we open the line.
Yeah, everybody's getting excited now.
Well, we know what we know what about 1,000 people sound like.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays. All the
Thank you.
best.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays, too.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, everybody.